से मेरी ये थी इच्छा थी कि मैं यूनिफॉर्म ऑफिसर बनूं, लेकिन मैं नहीं बन पाया। सम कारण से मैं एसएसबी फेस किया, इंटरव्यू नहीं सेलेक्ट हुआ। तो मैं SIS के बारे में इसलिए जानता था कि ये पटना हेडक्वार्टर थी इसकी, और मैं पटना का ही रहने वाला। तो मुझे कुछ लोगों से जानकारी मिलती थी। जैसे उस समय में एक UN सिंह हुआ करते थे, 1st बिहार बटालियन के थे साहब, और मैं भी 1st बिहार NCC का था। तो वो मेरे से चर्चा करते रहते थे कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, लेकिन अभी आप लोग को नहीं लिया जा सकता है, क्योंकि वहाँ एक्स सर्विसमैन, एक्स पुलिस और एक्स ब्यूरोक्रेट्स लोग हैं। मैंने कहा चलो सर कोई बात नहीं है। फिर इत्तेफाक ऐसा हुआ कि 86 में ऐड आया, हम लोगों ने एग्जामिनेशन दिया, मेरी भी सिलेक्शन हो गई। UN सिंह साहब हमारे साथ थे, काम किए हुए थे, बहुत मोटिवेशन उनसे मिलता था और बताते थे। तो फिर मैं साथ हो लिया, तो 17 साल की जर्नी पूरी कर ली मैंने।
I'm Harindran, and I'm from Kerala. I got to know about this position through our NCC directorate. That's the time, and SIS have given an announcement in the NCC directorate looking for candidates who got basically a few criteria like minimum graduation with 50% marks, 5'8" height, NCC B or C certificate, and preferably someone who did extra some camps like RDC or BLC, something like that. So I got into that, and that's how I got to know about this position. Those days, I mean, there was no other communication rather than certain intimation through the letter. So once I had been to my college for handing over my responsibility as a senior under officer in NCC after the completion of course, that time my NCC director, officer, there is something like this, would you like to? And that's my first job application. It happened on, the exam, everything was there for 4 to 5 days. I joined formally on 4th of January 1990. As a coincidence, it was my birthday also. So just then I completed 22 years. So I joined as a graduate trainee officer in Patna. And we were only 2 officers that particular batch. Nice experience. And I worked through that way 12 years. And 2001, I left SIS.
मैंने एक एडवर्टीज़मेंट देखा था न्यूज़पेपर में, जिसमें निकला था कि आप ज्वाइन द SIS एज एन सिक्योरिटी ऑफिसर एंड C सर्टिफिकेट होल्डर, दे कैन ज्वाइन डायरेक्टली। तो हमने इसमें अप्लाई किया। अप्लाई करने के बाद हम लोगों की रिटन टेस्ट हुई। एक लेडीज़ स्टीफन हॉल होता था पटने में, जहाँ हम लोगों ने रिटन एग्जामिनेशन दिया। रिटन देने के बाद हम लोगों का फिजिकल्स वगैरह हुआ। उसके बाद इंटरव्यू हुआ। इंटरव्यू होने के बाद हम लोगों का सिलेक्शन हुआ। हम लोग उसमें ट्रेनिंग के लिए गए। फिर बेलचंपा ट्रेनिंग सेंटर में हम लोग को भेजा गया ट्रेनिंग के लिए। ट्रेनिंग के लिए हम लोग को रोटेशनल बेसिस पे भेजा गया। देन हम लोग की फ़र्स्ट पोस्टिंग हुई कोटेश्वर लाइमस्टोन माइंस सेल। वहाँ हम लोगों ने ट्रेनिंग पाया। वहाँ से यूनिट ट्रेनिंग के बाद हम लोग को डिफरेंट प्लेसेस पर, सेंचुरी पल्प पेपर, लाल कुआं, डिफरेंट ऑल ओवर इंडिया वेयर एज SIS, वहाँ हम लोगों की ट्रेनिंग हुई। ट्रेनिंग होने के बाद हमारी पोस्टिंग फर्स्ट हेडक्वार्टर में आई एज ए मैनेजर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। सो मैं वहाँ रहा। वहाँ बहुत दिन तक रहने के बाद ऑल ऑफ सडन CMD साहब ने बताया कि तुमको सीनियर इंस्ट्रक्टर होकर के टाटा ट्रेनिंग प्रोजेक्ट में जाना है। तो मैं नर्वस हुआ पहले, क्योंकि वहाँ पे जो लोग हैं वो सब एक्स सर्विसमैन थे, सब एल्डरली पीपल थे। लेकिन फिर भी हमने कहा कि सर कैसे होगा? तो उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, यू आर सेलेक्टेड फॉर एंड यू विल गो देयर। फिर मैं वहाँ गया एज ए सीनियर इंस्ट्रक्टर। मैंने अपना काम किया। 2000 वहाँ टाटा स्टील के सिक्योरिटी पर्सनल को हम लोगों ने ट्रेनिंग दिया। फिर देन आई कम बैक टू हेडक्वार्टर। उसके बाद बाकी जगहों पे हमारी पोस्टिंग होती रही। जहाँ भी बड़ी यूनिट होती थी उसमें हमारी सिलेक्शन फर्स्ट होती थी, क्योंकि मैं फर्स्ट बैच से था। ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मेरे को मिलती थी। फिर मेरी पोस्टिंग आई 97 में ट्रेनिंग सेंटर के लिए एज ए डिप्टी कमांडेंट। दैट टाइम मिस्टर AK सिंह वाज देयर कमांडेंट। सो मैं उनका रिप्लेसमेंट जाना था, मुझे भेजा गया। फिर मैं 7 साल ट्रेनिंग सेंटर में रहा। ट्रेनिंग सेंटर में 7 साल रहने के बाद जितने भी बैचेस GTOs के थे उनको ट्रेनिंग कराना, और भी सिक्योरिटी सुपरवाइजर्स, इंस्पेक्टर्स, सिक्योरिटी गार्ड्स, ये सारे लोगों की ट्रेनिंग वहाँ होती थी। उसके बाद 2003 आई हैव बीन पोस्टेड एज ए ब्रांच हेड भुवनेश्वर। देयर आई वाज देयर for some period. Then I have left the SIS in 2003.
Coming back to my GTO days, those days the training was for 1 year, division of 4 courses like 3 months each, introduction and familiarization, then field training, then comes command training, and last stage the staff training. So basically the introduction and other things were something like attached with a senior officer in the regional head office. So I was assigned to Chasnalla. It's in Dhanbad. Those days 1990 and also very notorious due to various reasons. But being a first timer out of Kerala all the way 3,800 kilometers, I did not know anything. Sometimes ignorance was also good. So managed to be there for 3 months for the familiarization. Later on shifted to a place called Kusumdaha. So that's the time we were looking after the Asia's longest ropeway security. It starts from Chasnalla, Dhanbad to Burnpur in West Bengal. So there were around 10 to 11 stations where we have to patrol the area to ensure no calls transported through the ropeway is stolen by anybody, any antisocial elements or villagers. In that, the third stage called Kusumdaha, that was the toughest station because of various reasons again. That was my first assignment, but not as a commander or anything, under training, like a guard, without any rank or anything. Be a part of the team and do the patrolling 8 hours every day, day and night. And really, it really taught me a lot about resilience, hard working. And it really matured me into a stage of becoming a professional. So that 3-month stint was quite good, learned a lot. The interaction with the under command, the guards, because the patrolling used to be with the guards and supervisors. So I used to interact. And I had a very bad experience in terms of language that time. I did not know Hindi. And my guards used to talk only in Hindi. That too almost I can say a different dialect like a Bihar. So that again made me a little closer to my stream, because when you don't know the language, you will try to communicate through certain gestures and the connectivity starts coming that time. So that way I could learn more about empathy, their problem. And I felt a little good about that experience. So after that 3 months, then we were sent to the training center that is called Belchamba, the Anusasanpuram. There was no electricity, nothing, just on the kerosene lamp, and no such development as such to stay even good. Barrack were not there. But again, it's a part of training. So since we had background of NCC, we have been directly assigned to the command where we used to give training to the guards, parades, classroom teachings. So that again went on for 3 months, and after that we were brought down to Patna. That's the time we have been assigned with senior management team of the corporate office to understand how the office setup, the movement of file, day-to-day issues which comes to the head office, how do they find a solution. Merely being a part of the senior management team, not necessarily you need to be learning by somebody telling you this is how it should be. But when you interact with the senior management while solving a particular problem, you get to know, okay, this is the way it should be. So it was again a very good experience of 3 months again there. So that all put together, 1 year was quite amazing, wonderful, learning. More than anything, the discipline, getting up early morning at 4:30, get ready with the team on the ground. All those things made us to be a professional, getting on to take more responsibility.
सिलेक्शन होने के बाद हम लोगों को भेज दिया गया ट्रेनिंग सेंटर बेलचंपा। ट्रेनिंग सेंटर बेलचंपा जाने के बाद हम लोगों को वहाँ बेसिक ट्रेनिंग सिक्योरिटी की हुई। उसके बाद हम लोगों की रोटेशनल बेसिस पे ऑल ओवर इंडिया जहाँ जहाँ SIS की यूनिट थी वहाँ हम लोग को भेजा जाना है। मेरी फर्स्ट यूनिट थी कुटेश्वर लाइमस्टोन माइंस। वहाँ हम लोगों ने रहा। वहाँ की ड्यूटी परफॉर्म करने के बाद एक बहुत बेसिक चीज़ थी ट्रेनिंग में कि हम लोग को गार्ड की ट्रेनिंग से शुरू किया गया था। दो वी हैव ज्वाइन एज ए ग्रेजुएट ट्रेनिंग ऑफिसर, बट इट वाज विज़न, मिशन ऑफ गोल ऑफ CMD कि आपको सारी चीज़ें जाननी चाहिए। फिर हम लोग रोटेशनल बेसिस पे हर एक जगह ड्यूटी किए। ड्यूटी करने के बाद हेडक्वार्टर में आया। आई ज्वाइन देयर, आई वर्क देयर, देन आई हैव गॉट द प्रमोशन एज ए कमांडेंट ऑफ द ट्रेनिंग सेंटर। तो वहाँ जो जितने GTO बैच आते थे उनकी ट्रेनिंग, इंस्पेक्टर्स की ट्रेनिंग, गार्ड्स की ट्रेनिंग, तो उसका नाम था अनुशासनपुरम। जो ट्रेनिंग सेंटर था उसका नाम था अनुशासनपुरम। उसका अनुशासनपुरम नाम हम लोगों ने इसीलिए रखा था कि डिसिप्लिन सिखाई जाती थी। बेसिकली मोटिवेशन, लीडरशिप, डिसिप्लिन, ये सारी चीज़ें पार्ट थी ट्रेनिंग की। और उसमें उन लोगों को हम लोग ग्रूम करते थे, चाहे वो सिक्योरिटी गार्ड हों, ऑफिसर्स हों, इंस्पेक्टर्स हों, सुपरवाइजर्स हों, और वो पास आउट होते थे और डिफरेंट प्लेसेस में जाते थे। कैरिकुलम बने हुए थे, मॉर्निंग में पीटी होना, ड्रिल होना, फिर आपका क्लासेस चलना, जैसे एफआईआर कैसे होता है, जो सिक्योरिटी प्रोफेशनल सब्जेक्ट्स होती हैं वो सारे चलते थे और सारे उसमें इंस्ट्रक्टर्स होते थे। मोस्टली एक्स पुलिस हम लोग के इंचार्ज थे उस समय में लेट आरसीपी पांडे, ही इज़ नो मोर, तो ही वाज आवर इंस्ट्रक्टर। तो वो हम लोग के साथ होते थे और उसमें डिफरेंट क्लासेस होती थी, हेडक्वार्टर से भी लोग आते थे। अगर आपको ट्रेनिंग मिलती है तो आपके अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस आता है, प्लस आपके अंदर डिसिप्लिन आएगा। डिसिप्लिन आने से आप मोटिवेटेड रहेंगे, आप में लीडरशिप आएगा और आपके अंदर पंक्चुअलिटी आएगी, क्योंकि सिक्योरिटी लाइन में आपकी डिसिप्लिन और पंक्चुअलिटी वेरी इसेंशियल। मैंने जो कुछ भी सीखा है वो ऐसे ही सीखा है, अपनी लीडरशिप, लाइजन, कोऑर्डिनेशन, ये ग्रेट जर्नी रहा मेरा और उसमें हमने बहुत कुछ सीखा कि आपको कैसे जॉब करना है। मैंने सबसे पहले लीडरशिप सीखा और अपने कमिटमेंट को सीखा और अंदर में पैशन आया। और जब मैं कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेस में गया तो वो चीज़ें हमको बहुत मोटिवेट किया और बहुत ज़्यादा हमको मदद किया कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेस में काम करने के लिए। मैं आज भी इन सारे चीज़ों को अपने लाइफ में रखा हूँ ताकि कभी भी मुझे कोई पॉइंट आउट ना करे।
As a first timer from far south, getting onto a place which is quite politically and law and order wise, lot of turmoil were going on. That really gave me the strength, might be because I've been put through that difficult situation. So that made me really a confidence built up in my mind. That took me for my next 1 year probation. So this training actually after 1 year, the next 1 year is probationary. Again going through independent command where we are supposed to handle big unit as a unit commander. So I have been assigned as the unit commander of Indira Gandhi Institute of Medical Science, Patna. So there I was for around 6 months. Later on I have been shifted to Jamshedpur. Again first time the Tata Steels had come out with a cement plant called Jojo Bera cement plant. It was under construction that time. There again I have been made as a unit commander, come security officer. That 6 months again gave me a lot of defining moments in my life. Especially 1 or 2 incidents I can mention about it. Something like those days we have called mess system in the unit, and being the security officer I used to look after the finances and other things and ensure that there's a transparency, things are bought in a proper minimum cost, and there's a saving by the guards so that after spending their money on the food they could send something to their family. So I had gone out with a 4-wheeler. We had given one Mahindra Jeep for patrolling purpose. So in that one Sunday I had gone with my mess secretary and other members to buy vegetables, rice, wheat, etc. On the way back, around 1 kilometer before reaching my site, one political party, that time there's an election going on in Chaibasa. We have been stopped and said they are going to take away the vehicle. You just get down, go by walk, wherever you want. This is an order from an ex-politician. We know who he is and they are still very active in the politics. That particular point of time, the vehicle, it was full of our mess items and in a very tricky situation. So I just, with my presence of mind, I just requested them, give me just time to get this material unloaded in my premises because it's for the food of my team. We have to go and cook. Then only we can eat food. Allow us, if you feel still something suspicious, any one of you can sit in the jeep. Let me allow. With that, somewhere the discussion went on. They allowed, okay, we will sit in the thing, you take us. As soon as we entered the premises, we gave signal to my security team there. They just closed the gate. Then we got down and it was a real experience really, and those one guy who was in the car literally ran away from the gate thinking that we will catch them and hand over to the police. That that particular incident gave me learning experience. Sometimes we do feel, and these are all I feel because those training, those tough situations made me to take that call. So as a GTO, I'm sure they are the backbone of SIS today, and this I'm talking about almost 35 years back, and hardly, even 1-2% of what SIS today. That was a size. So that really gave a good exposure to the field of security. Later on, second year, third year, starting, I have been sent as a assistant regional liaison officer to Bhagalpur. Again, Bhagalpur was very in the limelight because of certain riot and all happened 2 years back, 89, there was a big riot, Bhagalpur. So there we had a big office, and that office as a in charge, something like a regional manager. So that was again an independent command, and that gave me another climb up in my ladder of career, where I had to look after around 200 plus guards, and we also used to have a service called document delivery service. Today you can call it as courier service. So we were looking after the SBI document delivery all over Bihar. So my region, Bhagalpur region, was the biggest one in that aspect. So that again gave me an opportunity for me to cover at least 17 districts of Bihar, starting from Supol, Kishanganj, Purnia, Begusarai to Munger. I mean, amazing experiences where people never used to go in the night. And I did not know these are all, it's a part of life there. Because of my young blood, I used to plan such a way. I used to leave Bhagalpur in the evening after office hour at 6 o'clock, reach Dhumka or Girdi with an intention to conduct night check. Imagine the midnight at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in those days, conducting night check alone in a rickshaw. So when I go down from the tempo, people were looking at me and I did not know anything why they are looking at me. I said one rickshaw wala को बोला कि चलिए मेरे को मिडको गिरिडी वो वहाँ पे एक यूनिट था वहीं पे चलिए. They were all talking among themselves. Somehow one person readily said, okay sir. He came. As soon as I reached my unit, my entire team said, sir आप पागल हो गए क्या? I said, what happened? Sir आप ये 12-1 बजे आ रहे हो सर, पता नहीं चलेगा कुछ हो गया तो प्लीज़ आपको नाइट चेकिंग करना कर लीजिए सर, हम लोग सो के ड्यूटी नहीं करते हैं. अच्छा है सर आप आए हैं, अच्छा लगा, लेकिन प्लीज़ आप अपना रिस्क इस तरह से मत लिया करिए. आई नेवर न्यू, देन आई रियलाइज्ड ओह लाइक दिस ऑल्सो हैपन. सो इन लाइफ ऑल्सो समटाइम आई फील you should not know everything. Sometimes you should leave it to ignorance also to do your best. It's something like if a small kid catching fire, it won't be knowing the impact of that. So those things really made me to grow further.
मेरी चेयरमैन साहब की मुलाकात पहले से है, क्योंकि चेयरमैन साहब मुझे 78 में प्रेसिडेंट स्काउट्स मेडल मिला था, तो सर की एक कंपनी थी आरके पब्लिसिटी, उसमें हमारा न्यूज़पेपर में मेरे को प्रेसिडेंट अवार्ड का फोटोग्राफ सब छपा था. उस समय मैं जानता था उनको. फिर 86 में ऑल ऑफ सडन जब मैं SIS में इंटरव्यू देने गया तो ही वॉज ऑल्सो सिटिंग देयर. चीफ एडवाइज़र थे लेट केन प्रसाद सर, ही वॉज देयर, CMD सर देयर, और बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स वॉज सिटिंग देयर. तो मैं बात करते करते मुझे लगा, तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने तुम्हें कहीं देखा है. तो मैंने बताया कि सर आपके साथ मैं एसोसिएटेड 78 से हूँ. एनीवे वो हुआ, बात हो ही गई. तो फिर मैं जब अपने पेरेंट्स को आके बोला कि हमारी सिलेक्शन SIS में हो गई है, और वो उसके चेयरमैन मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर जो है CMD हैं RK सिन्हा साहब, तो फादर नोज हिम. वो बोले कि अरे चलो ठीक है, अच्छी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जा रहे हो तुम, ज्वाइन करो. फिर अपनी जर्नी शुरू हुई, ट्रेनिंग शुरू हुआ, रिगरस ट्रेनिंग होता था. कभी कभी मन ये होता था, लेकिन फिर भी कभी भी हम लोग का रोटेशनल बेसिस पे जाना पड़ता था. लेकिन क्या होता था कि किसी मैनेजमेंट ने, जैसे सेंचुरी पल्प पेपर मिल में मैं गया, तो वहाँ की मैनेजमेंट मुझे नहीं छोड़ रही थी. तब CMD ने कहा कि उसके प्रमोशन का बात है, वो अभी रोटेशनल बेसिस पे ट्रेनी ऑफिसर है, यू हैव टू लीव हिम, अदरवाइज ही विल नॉट गेट द प्रमोशन. तो मैनेजमेंट को मैंने भी बताया कि सर ये मेरे करियर का सवाल है, मुझे जाना ही होगा हेडक्वार्टर. मेरा बहुत अच्छा रिश्ता है सबों से. मैं SIS को छोड़ने के बाद भी हमेशा जब कभी भी CMD आते थे कहीं भी तो याद करते थे. और आज इसका नतीजा आप देख सकते हो कि मैं यहाँ बैठा हूँ. अगर वो मुझे नहीं लाइक करते तो मुझे कभी नहीं सेलेक्ट करते कि आप आओ, मेरे 50 इयर्स मन रहे हैं, तुम मेरे ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बन जाओ.
As a person from a personal point of view also, whatever today we are as a family or my children doing, yeah, I can say that the contribution of or the motivation of CMD and Mrs. CMD is invaluable. Those days, I mean, maybe now it's social media, we are all in that generation. Those days there was no social media. We got the mobiles in 92, 93, I think I got the first mobile. That's a time I remember. Sometimes those days we used to report to CMD also in many occasions on a day-to-day basis. The organization was small, and being the regional controller, as a profit and loss head of the region, we used to have a lot of responsibility. So when we interact, not necessarily he used to mentor us, but his actions, his gestures, the way he do the hard work really inspire us also to do the similar thing rather than sit across and see what's you're doing. That really taught us big lessons in our life, and leading by example, or you call it empathetic view of your under command. Because end of the day, the guard is not going to take care of your seat. They need a good respect. Whenever they do good, just give a pat on their back. When they do bad, give them what you call little bit motivation so that they don't repeat the same. And see them with a different eye. We say, दिल और दिमाग से काम ले, यानी कि दिमाग से ही काम करे. कभी कभी गड़बड़ हो जाता है. So that he really taught us. Be with the guards. Don't scold them unnecessarily. Take nicely the work. Those empathetic view wherever we are, whether we are with my children also, even if they do some mistake, I always think, oh no, this is not the way to correct them. So those learnings and the humbleness of CMD or Mrs. MD, I can tell it in one simple, very small incident. Usually during winter, CMD used to come to Bangalore to stay on account of certain health issues. So in Bangalore, there's a yoga center, Vivekananda Yoga Center. So in 2010, even after I left almost 8 years, I got to know CMD is here. I just called up, sir, आप यहीं पे आए हो, थोड़ा मिलने की बात है. Because just then around 4 or 5 years, I got my children, and they were twins, one boy and a girl. So when he was in Vivekananda Yoga Center, when I called up, he said, come and meet. Because since then, just my children were around 4 or 5 years old. I wanted to show them. So one evening I went there, CMD and the team were sitting in the thing. Madam had gone for an evening walk. She came back, she saw me, my wife and my children. So I have a daughter. So Mrs. MD said, Madam said, या अभी तो आप ऐसे आए हैं, तुम्हें कुछ रखा नहीं है, क्या है, बेटी तो आई है ना, चलो ऐसा करो. She just removed her earring from her thing and she just removed and gave it to my daughter. I still keep this as a treasure in my place box. This is some 14-15 years back. So those humbleness being so big is something really instill a lot of good thing in our thing also, to treat your team also the way they deserve. So this is one thing I wanted to say.
एक अच्छी बात ये मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि जब मैं 15 इयर्स कंप्लीट किया तो मुझे विशिष्ट सेवा मेडल मिला. तो उस समय मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने मुझे ये किया था विशिष्ट सेवा मेडल के लिए. ये था. दूसरी चीज़ कि बहुत सारी चीज़ें अच्छी थी. मैं बताऊँ, मेरे बच्चे छोटे थे तो सर को हम लोगों ने कहा कि सर एजुकेशंस के लिए हम लोग को दिक्कत है, चूँकि हमारी रोटेशन बेसिस पे डिफरेंट प्लेसेस पे और काफ़ी इंटीरियर पोस्टिंग होती है, कैसे होगा. बोला अश्विनी तुम ऐसा करो, बच्चों को सबको लेकर के तुम दिल्ली आओ, चलो देहरादून. और हम लोग को लेकर चले गए. और ले जाने के बाद वहाँ गढ़ी कैंट में 7 ऑक्स एक स्कूल हुआ करता था, उसमें हमारी बच्ची का एडमिशन हुआ और भी एग्जीक्यूटिव्स के बच्चों का एडमिशन हुआ. देन ही हैड डिसाइडेड फॉर इंडियन पब्लिक स्कूल. IPS स्कूल उस समय जब बना तो मेरी बच्ची वहाँ भी पढ़ती थी. तो ये उनका विज़न है, वो इनका सोच है. वो हमेशा आगे सोचते हैं, कुछ बड़ा सोचते हैं. CMD भी क्लास लेते थे. CMD का मोटिवेशनल क्लासेस होता था कि कैसे मोटिवेट वो करते थे हम लोगों को बहुत अच्छे तरीके से, कि क्या तुम्हारी क्या कैरियर है, तुम फर्स्ट स्टेप पे अभी हो, तुमको कहाँ जाना है. वो इन्फिनिटी था. तो इस तरीके से वो मोटिवेट करके हम लोगों को रखे. और ASO से मैं CSO का जर्नी किया SIS में. फिर बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स में मेरे को डायरेक्ट इन्वॉल्वमेंट मिला और मैं बड़े बड़े यूनिटों में यूनिट कमांडर का काम भी किया. फिर यूनिट कमांडर के बाद मैं रीजनल ऑफिसेस में काम किया, RLO का काम किया, रीजनल कंट्रोलर का काम किया. इवन IISS में मैं प्रोग्राम ऑफिसर था दिल्ली में. तो ये मेरी जर्नी थी.
And that was the time SIS went on a big expansion move, because I was the only first and the only South Indian officer in it. So that was a big added advantage for me. So SIS took over ITDC hotels across the country, and there were around 7 hotels of ITDC falling in South India. So I was the first pick. Oh, it was a really dream come true to go back to your hometown, representing your company. So I went back to South, taking SIS name first time. Trivandrum. Where is Trivandrum and where is... it's a far off, after that is Sri Lanka. So there we started our unit first. And the nearest unit was in Balasore, Orissa. See the difference of Balasore unit and the next unit in South without any background. That is where sometimes empowerment also works wonders, because I'll have a connectivity with this here, giving a connectivity with our chairman. Because when the decision of ITDC hotel came up, he called me. That time I was in Delhi. He called me and said, "Beta, पहली बार हम लोग साउथ में जा रहे हैं, जो इज्जत हम लोग इस इलाका में कमा के रखा है, मैं आपको ऊपर छोड़ करोगे?" बोला, "हाँ सर, बिल्कुल, क्यों नहीं सर." Then he just hugged me and just pat on my back. जाओ, अब जाके आना. That's only one sentence he said. जाओ. Then I've carried a uniform, big gunny bag. I mean, to start a business straight way, Delhi to Trivandrum, सामान सब रखा. That's where that biggest turning point in the life of me as a professional, or even for SIS, because some of the actions or measures that I had taken is still the best going on now. Though it was 35 years or 32 years back, somehow the empowerment was there. The simple things I like, in ever in the history of SIS, we did not have a system of what you call the guards coming from their home and performing their duty and going back. Our culture in SIS those days were, बैरक दिया जाएगा, बैरक में आपको रहना है, वहीं पे आपको सबको रहना है, काम करने के बाद उधर जाकर सोना, फिर आना, अपना घर से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है. First time in Kerala we started, and it was one of the most successful trial. Everybody, and I saved cost on account of accommodation. Rather, I could give extra salary on account of accommodation में जो होते थे, and all ex-servicemen. Fortunately, Kerala is having one of the maximum number of unemployed ex-servicemen. So I could get one of the best ex-servicemen team. Secondly, local, that is nothing but local recruitment, local procurement of uniform again. Because those days it's not like a FedEx or DHL where you could send items and it reaches there within 24 hours, 48 hours. Nothing, you have to send it through a train parcel, 3-4 days. So I started procuring uniform depending on my local requirement. That happened again. And I'm sure today 90% of the organization across the thing, say other companies also of the similar nature, they all develop or encourage this. So the liability goes down a little bit. They come from their house, perform their duty, go back to their family, freshed up, neat, clean, with the happiness of seeing their family. That was not the case earlier. So this we could start from far off say Kerala. There I was the manager, security and vigilance of ITDC, a 5-star hotel called Kovalam Ashok Beach Resort. Famous Hawa Beach and all, it's part of it. So I was there for 1 year, and that's a time in 2001, there was an international seminar of ISSM happened in Bangalore. So being from that area, CMD had asked me to come to attend this 10 days in advance to make other logistics arrangement. So a seminar and all went on well. Last day evening, we had a get together in CMD's hotel room. That's the background staff who all worked. So they were all planning to go back to their respective locations. So then CMD asked me, "Beta, how do you feel now? You want to go back to Kovalam or program kya hai?" So I said, "Sir, now we had our ISN seminar. Somewhere SIS is known here. We got around 6 to 7 units. Why don't we start a regional office in Bangalore?" हाँ, सही बात है. तो क्या यहाँ पर रह जाओगे? हाँ सर. और आप बोल दीजिए तो मैं वापस नहीं जा रहा हूँ. नहीं, यहीं पे मैं सारा विस्तार लेके आया है. मैं यहीं पे चालू करूँगा. Now you need to understand, the ISSM office what we took was all on rent, including sofa, chair, utensils, everything except 4 walls. So CMD asked me, you'll have hardly any item here. Where do you sleep and how do you start? I said, "Chalu ho jayega, sir." In the same ISM office, we started as our first regional office of South. That was the beginning where SIS entered South. From there is no looking back. Till 2001, 1993 was the ISS seminar. So from 1993 to 2001, there was no looking back. We grew like anything, and we could replace grew 4 in many places. That gave more confidence because we are fighting with, competing with a company like Better Than You those days. Group 4 ko replace karna something that you achieve. And similar, that is the time we entered West also. first time in the history of SIS, we went to Pune, replacing Group 4 again there. So it was something like a takeoff we did from 93 till 2001 when I was there. Why I am commenting about these things are quite close to my heart. And those days, SIS introduced Best Regional Award to motivate the team. So first recipient was our southern region only. So we got Best Region Award in 94, 98, 99, hat-trick we made. And by the time I left, because of certain work-life balance, which I gave my preference for that, we were almost, those days we were doing almost a 6 to 7 crore annual business from that point of view, that time. And it was quite a fruitful journey. And in between, one more good thing happened. Why I have little more connectivity with SIS was that I found my life partner also in SIS only. So 1996, I got married to Nimi. We are now 29 years of married life. She was assistant manager, accounts and finance in SIS regional office. After marriage, she left. I continued. So that way, daily, some way or the other, we do discuss about or remember about SIS. So this is my journey as a GTO, and some of the top performers of today SIS, few names like I could call Naran Langa, he's the president, or Sanjeev Ocha, or you call it Rahul Sharan Sinha, or Pushpender. Like this, so many people were all, JK Karan is the director now. They were all once upon a time was a part of my team in southern region. So their contributions, and as a GTO young officers, we were all full of josh. We made or we could contribute how much ever possible. But even after I left SIS also, then I joined another company there in Bangalore, a South India leading security agency as their second in command. I worked there for 5 years, and after that I joined the other side of the story. So all this while in this 15 to 16 years, I was in the security agency side. Later on, I got an opportunity to work with a multinational company as their head of security. So I joined a company called TNT Express. It's a logistics and supply chain management company, having its global office in Netherlands. So I joined their thing as a head of security. So I continued there for 8 years. And before I left TNT, I was the global investigations manager, with a global remit including Southeast Asia, Asia Pacific and Middle East. So that way, those exposure or those confidence or those professional knowledge, I owe and am really sincerely indebted to SIS because of the all-round development. Yeah, it is during training and probation, it was a hell of a time to manage. But with a background of being in NCC for 5 years, we have been tuned to that. And that really paid a good result in the thing.
पहले सिक्योरिटी में एक्स सर्विस मैन आते थे, एक्स पुलिस वाले लोग आते थे, लेकिन जब SIS ने हम लोगों को सिक्योरिटी लाइन में इंजेक्ट किया, हमारे जो सिविलियंस लोग हैं वो एज ए असिस्टेंट सिक्योरिटी ऑफिसर, सिक्योरिटी ऑफिसर, सीनियर सिक्योरिटी ऑफिसर, CSO इस रैंक में जाना शुरू किया और मैनेजमेंट को लोगों ने एडुकेट किया। SIS ने, आई कैन से कि SIS एडुकेट की कि आप जो एक्स सर्विसमैन को रखते हो, आप मेरे सिविलियन को रख के देखो, और हम लोग की पोस्टिंग होने लगी और आज उसका ये नतीजा है कि डिफरेंट प्लेसेस पे हमारे सारे GTOs काम करते हैं।
One word about GTO batch. In between, in 2013, I think I got a chance to interact with a GTO batch. If I'm right, that time it was 32 or 33 batch. I got a chance to meet them in Belchamba to give them a motivational talk on our life, how it was, what's your life. So that day is not so far where GTOs will manage 99% of the business affairs of SIS. And I'm sure if not today, it's going to be tomorrow. And I'll be more prouder that time because those people are the team. Once upon a time, we were colleagues. So I'll feel proud about it, that they achieved what I could not achieve. So all the best for my comrades, my GTO batch.
मैं मैसेज यही देना चाहूँगा कि ये एक ऐसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जहाँ आपको बहुत ही फैमिलियर एटमॉस्फेयर मिलता है और आप अच्छे से काम कर सकते हैं। और अब कंपनी इतनी ग्रो कर गई है कि आपको सोचने की ज़रूरत नहीं है और आपकी स्टेबिलिटी है। मैं उनको यही मैसेज देना चाहता हूँ कि आप एक अच्छे कंपनी में आ रहे हो, मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी में आ रहे हो, आपका करियर बहुत ही अच्छा है, आप ज़रूर इसमें भाग लो और अगर आपका सिलेक्शन होता है तो यू मस्ट ज्वाइन एंड एंजॉय योर लाइफ।
As far as SIS is concerned, they are the market leader today. Everybody got a place in their business. I'm a very small 0.00001% of SIS today. But as an entrepreneur, when I think about the way how I need to meet my customer, how to manage my compliance, how to manage my team members, I get a lot of vibration, that thing, that positive vibes from SIS days. In fact, in the team meeting, sometime my officers will be laughing because when the meeting going on, I'll be putting something about SIS. So वो लोग बोलता है सर चालू हो गया SIS का बात, अब आप नहीं रुकेगा. So that is something. So but what I'm trying to say, SIS is a very big company today, market leader. I'm proud of it, being a part of it in those initial days. In one word, I can say about CMD is that like how we call missile man of India, Abdul Kalam. Our Dr. Abdul, he is the security man of India, and many steps to go further. And I'm sure SIS will be the real torch bearer of our industry. And when they are now, it's okay 50 years. In another 25 years, they'll be completing 75 years. When India is going to celebrate 100 years of independence, I'm sure they will be keeping or adding another benchmark, and that time it will be an undisputed market. Now there are others claim to be, but I'm sure with this run rate, if they're marching towards, by 2047 it will be an undisputed market leader. So whenever any report in the media, balance sheet reports, when it comes, eagerly we look forward to see. Nothing to achieve out of it, but at least feel proud, yeah, this was one of my company. Yeah. So that way, all the best wishes, and it's a privilege for a person like me from a very, very middle class those days to come and join, be a part of a big team like highly professional team like SIS, and grow in our life and professional life. That too, especially during a very formative years. I could have gone wrong also, being a young guy coming all the way here. But the right path, what he has given me, was something like always I will be indebted, and my family also will be highly indebted to SIS. Today, wherever we are, hardly any day we don't remember SIS. I can just say.
Investing in SIS came a little bit later, but the main reason was that, for me at least, that I found India very interesting. We knew that there are lots of people, and now, you can say 20 years later, India is the biggest population-wise country.